you
Need glasses yet, dude?
Do I need glasses yet?
Yeah.
That's true. But surprisingly, no. Vision's still holding in there, bro. Everything else is failing. But the eyes are good.
Everything else is failing.
Everything else is failing. My knees don't work. Ankles ache when it's cold. Welcome to the Settling Scores podcast. I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
Nick. We're Nick.
We are Nick. And we are Settling Scores.
Half of Settling Scores. If anything, the cooler,
the better half.
More educated half. We're the half that doesn't take quite as long on our turns.
And claim all the victory.
we're the half, Nick, that doesn't make shitty deals and then renege them at the last second.
Them. If you haven't seen the last episode,
you should.
Go
and watch it. Pause this.
Don't come in right into the podcast hot. If you've stumbled onto this on Spotify.
Or do it.
Who
cares? Who are we to tell people what to do?
That's true.
We're not Reddit. That's a thinly veiled jab, guys.
We're not good at taking criticism.
We love it. We want more. All we want is hate. Let's breed a culture of hate. That can work quite nicely, right?
Yeah. We'll put the times up on Twitter when we do a podcast. They'll be live on Twitch if you want to join us.
Correct.
And we stream live on Wednesday nights at 6:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, which is the worst time for anywhere else in the world to actually watch, apparently.
We do upload on YouTube.
Which, that's there forever, guys. And it's free. Jump along. We'll put some links somewhere, I guess.
Yeah. We should describe our better halves.
One's a Viking. And one's a Corpo drone.
Corpo drone.
Yeah.
Fabian. So we have Brian's in Fabian.
Briansy is it's a brother-in-law. I'm legally bound to it. It's not a choice, but it is what it is.
And Fabian is my brother.
Yeah, well,
I'm stuck with him.
Unavoidable. Somehow we've been trapped. We are doing drinks of the week every night, guys. We'll be drinking something alcoholic and not good for you. And tonight, espresso martinis.
They're good.
Brought to you by Kahlua and Red Square Vodka, which
looks like you're drinking Coke, doesn't taste like Coke.
Well, that could be in public. Throw it in the cup, slosh it around a little bit. This is just Coke, officer.
I'd be wary of someone sipping Coke like this for such a long amount of time.
Just holding the Coke.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Why are you sitting on that Coke?
Drink the Coke, drink it.
Just throw up immediately after sculling off a cup. Just puke all over him. Alright. So guys, we're going to be very fast and loose with the structure of this podcast because
this is our first time.
Yeah, and it's probably our last. We're gonna attempt to cover a little bit of what's going on in the Magic world, a little bit of what's going on in our concurrent on-running games, which we put up for you guys once a week.
Play-by-play.
Play-by-plays, thoughts on the games, apologies for when we lose it when we shouldn't have. There's going to be a lot of that. There's a lot of salt thrown around and a lot of regretting the amount of saltiness that goes on. We'll talk decks in terms of what we're thinking about, and then the rest is going to be just like fun cards that we're interested in that aren't what everybody else is playing because we're cooler than the entire Magic community. That won't cause it. That won't make any ripples, I don't think.
This isn't as much about you guys as well. Like, we got the Twitter up. Send us questions. Send us cards you like.
Yes.
If you want to be on the show, hit us up.
Drive around. Give me the address. Come pop in.
Nick is a freak about locking his doors.
You'll get here, you won't get in.
So you think someone's going to come in his house and pull down his pants?
Listen, I live in a rough area, in a rough neighborhood, guys, okay? There's only one rule. You have to be named Nick. Clearly that's the only issue.
You got a spot on the podcast.
Yeah, that's it, dude.
You're in the business.
We don't care
if you PayPal.
You don't even have to play Magic. At this point, it doesn't really matter.
We'll teach you. You'll just become part of the Nick.
Well, it's a collective knowledge thing at this point, I think. Shared learning. All right, so let's talk a little bit about ourselves in the game, I guess. Let's just do favorite colors. We'll do preferred play styles.
Yeah.
And then maybe just talk about some other little odds and ends attract us to the game
Yeah.
or something like that. Shoot, Nick, favorite color,
Favorite colour.
combo,
Favorite colour combo?
favorite 1, 2, 3, and 4 color combinations. Everyone has the same 5 color, I believe.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not a degenerate. I'm not playing colourless. I don't have the money for it.
Oh,
I'm not bringing out Ugin on turn 2.
Eldrazi trash, and anyone that plays it should die.
Listen, if you're one of those fuckers that's playing standard, and you're just doing that Tibble trickery.
That's the other rule to this podcast. If you play Eldrazi, you're not welcome.
If you're doing that Tibble trickery to get Ugin out on turn 2, get out of here.
You're the cancer, you're the pain of our existence. That's why I don't play Arena anymore.
So, favourite colour, I'm going to say, I love mono red. I like the red. For 2 colour, I'm swinging the opposite direction. I love Dimir. I love the blue.
The Yuri Maho.
Yeah, Yuriko. The blue-black is a lot of fun. I try not to lean too heavily into like removal and denial of everything. I think there's a lot of other really cool cards in those colour combinations.
Black and blue have infinite strengths without having to murder and counter everything.
Yeah, it's
you can
incredibly
get life gain,
unfun.
you can get control, you can get bounce.
It can be an incredibly unfun colour to play against, especially
I think
with
a lot
the
of
rogues
people,
and the mill.
Yeah, a lot of people see blue-black and just kind of shudder
Yeah.
at the thought of it. Okay, 3 color.
I think I like my Jared deck. So what's that? Green, white, and red. Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas colors.
It's
festive.
fun. It's a lot cool.
Yeah, that's a good color combo.
What about you, Nick?
So single color, I'm a flip flopper when it comes to trying to lock down one. I think I started with green. I have like an affinity to green. At one stage, I think all my commander decks had like green in them.
Okay.
But then lately, it's shifted to blue.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot more.
A lot more blue.
A lot more interaction.
And once more, like that just comes down to like in the my mutate deck, I can bounce things. Like the blue has the bounce. On my essentially group hate deck, it's called I Won't Allow It, and it's just full of counters. It's literally just a counter deck. So I like blue because it has a lot of utility. Card draw, the bounce,
the cloning.
Yeah.
So you take a lot of things, and we've talked about cloning a lot, which is it's as powerful as your. It's a
powerful as your opponents. The great thing about having a clone deck is that like if anyone's like, oh, the deck's too strong, it's like no. I'm only taking what you're putting down. Your decks are making me strong.
Which is the worst feeling ever. I'm leaving the last game. I had like a 20 counters, and it's like yoink, and I was like, "Hey, this is bullshit. I hate it."
So that leads nicely into my 2 color combo, which is just Simic blue green. I love blue green. The Quandrix, I kind of looked at a little bit. I took a bunch of the cards for my Wizards deck, my Simic Wizards deck.
Which is a fun deck. Which is a really good deck.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. I don't see a lot of it, like on deck text and anything like that as well. So it's kind of nice to play something a little bit more unique, I guess. 3 colors. I really like Naya. I think it's Naya. The green, white, and red.
Okay.
I think I've got my party deck is green, white, red.
Yeah.
My
the party deck that has no party mechanics.
I built it right before Zendikar was spoiled. I built an entire party deck of multicolored creatures right before, and I did all D&D. It was a D&D themed deck. So warriors, clerics, rogues, wizards, all everything I could fit in there, guys. And then a week later, Zendikar spoiled with the party mechanic. And I'd already built and ordered the entire deck. So it's the only party deck in the world with no party. So I think I've got 2 or 3 decks that are just that color combo.
Yeah.
I think it works really well together, synergizes really nicely. The green brings the stompy, the white brings the anthems and the power to a degree, and then the red brings the haste and the trample and all the kind of mean stuff to slam through with it.
Yeah.
So, and then 4 colors, anything but black. I play black in a lot of decks, but I feel like black's kind of the least exciting color, I guess, in terms of putting them all together, in a sense.
Yeah.
And that's contradictory, because once again, I got a lot of black. I never used to play black, and I got a lot of black in my decks these days. So, like I said, I'm a flip-flopper. I flip and I flop. Okay, dude, let's just do favorite deck quickly.
Favorite deck that we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
Favorite
me on the spot.
That'll be great for audio. Audio listening, guys. Favorite deck I have. I knew this question was coming. I got my red
You can
deck.
pick one of mine.
I got my red deck, which is my Magda deck. So it's, just making treasures, pulling out the artifacts, pulling out the dragons, which is a lot of fun. You can kind of just prepare for any situation. So if it's like if you're
flexibilities.
Insane on that one. Pulling out the answers that are currently needed at the table. So if I'm on the lead ahead, I'm going to pull out the possessed portal and lock the game down.
Yeah.
And immediately get it.
Or the dark steel, or I've seen you pull out just very specific things like duplicate.
Yes,
just very specific things
like
to exile, particular cards to keep pump yourself up.
It's a fun deck.
So the common criticism for that is that it's repetitive.
It's repetitive, and that it's there's only so many dwarves you can have. There's only so many dragons. Yeah. So it's like how much is the deck going to be similar to someone else who's built the deck?
I've never seen you blatantly just refer to the same tactic game after game with that deck.
That might be on purpose as well. I just like to shake things up.
Yeah. I think it's good. I like that.
It's a fun deck. It's definitely like if I'm feeling a bit spicy, if I want to maybe try to go for a fast game, I'll pull it out and take 2 hours to play, or die immediately.
It's one or the other.
One or the other. But doing the treasures, having to micromanage your treasures is a lot of fun. Do I sack treasures now and play something from my hand, or do I keep them all and then just go for that Magda sack? Especially how you can copy her abilities with things like the braces, illusionist braces, and the other one, the Hearthstone or Bright
Rings,
Brighthearth Rings from the Commander Legends. Yeah, we got that one.
Good
so
cards.
That just helps get the double triggers on her.
Yeah,
which is always a lot of fun. What about you, dude?
This is going to be a trash answer. I know you're not going to like this, but I love the rabbit deck. It's
never won, guys.
Whoa. I think it's won twice.
Alright. When we were hungover after Christmas.
Once when we were hungover. No, we won that one night. When Aaron,
oh my god.
With Aaron, yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so it's the group huggiest of all group hug decks. It does no damage to anybody. It doesn't make you mill anything.
No mill.
It's
technically.
It's literally like I'm not doing anything to hurt anybody at any time whatsoever. Quain, the itinerant meddler, is the commander, and I literally have just stacked the deck with every single card I can to make everybody draw 5 or 6 cards a turn, essentially, and make them discard their entire library. And the way I look at it is that discard's way better than mill, because you get to choose what you discard.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little sneaky way of being like, look, I'm not milling you. Hey, I'm a nice guy. You got any card you want? What's that? You want a little spice? You want your blight steel or whatever? I'll help you find it, dude. I'll help you find it. Don't even worry about it, guys. I'm on your team. So it's a funny deck because everyone's realised now that I'm very handy up until a point. And the point is when they have 25 cards left in their library, and at that point I die immediately.
You're kind of incentivized to keep them in the game long enough until you realise that you're drawing 20 cards on your upkeep, and you're discarding, and he also has you have a lot of return in it as well. So it's like once you start building up, so you can put everything to your bad and immediately discard.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of. I do not have
one land destruction card, which caused a bit of a kerfuffle.
Land bounce.
Washout,
I believe it's called. Ultimately the idea is I don't have many creatures, so I'm happy just to bounce the board continually, basically, to keep everybody off balance, which helps me. I've got a couple of life gain cards in there for the amount of cards in my hand, etc., etc. So it's very much
your life can spiral away from us.
It can, and card of the deck's got to be that Swans of Arungol or whatever, where whenever it takes damage, the opponent draws that much cards instead of taking damage. So there's a few really fun little things in there, but it's oppressive to play against. I think
it's oppressive in the sense where if you let it get oppressive, but it's also fun in the sense where you're kind of getting what you want. You're letting your stake. It's like this guy's letting me draw 5 cards in my upkeep. The only downside to the deck is you're filtering out everything that you need, and you're filtering out everything you don't need. So you're kind of getting all the answers you need at once. Yeah, because you're drawing so many cards. But if you're just not getting that draw somehow with a 20 a turn, you lose out.
Yeah. Okay, well that's kind of a little bit about us, just to kind of break the ice.
Successful podcast segment. The first one. Cheers, buddy.
We're doing it, guys. So now we can move on to. I think we wanted to touch on Strixhaven's fresh. We're obviously not as fresh as Strixhaven.
Let me stop you there, buddy. If you haven't been able to tell, we are in Australia.
Oh yeah.
So we're an Australian group. We're based in Queensland.
That's how we say it. Hello in Australia.
That's not a knife.
I comment all the shitty Australian things, and we'll respond to whether or not it's accurate. And kangaroos to school. Questions. Yeah, they're around. You see them every once in a while. But yeah. Feel free to ask Australian-related questions.
It's the same with Magic as you guys play, but they're just a lot sweatier.
And the cards are all upside down.
The text is upside down.
Yes, correct.
Really annoying.
That's the only real option. When you turn it around, the logo's the right way still, but the printing on the front.
It's a real mess.
They have to get them out of Japan. It's a big thing. We often miss delivery dates on things, and anyways. So Strixhaven...
The water doesn't spin the other side of the bowl, guys. It goes straight down. There's no spinning happening.
How much water have you got in your toilet?
What are you doing over there?
Who's got time to watch the cylindrical nature of toilet spinning?
I wipe while I sit, so I'm not watching anything.
You're not getting up? Let's not start this fight.
I'll let it work.
Okay, so we wanted to do the kind of traditional reaction to Strixhaven. While the poker's still
a reactionary channel. That's what we get involved into.
The iron's somewhat hot. We've received our pre-con decks.
Yes,
but I believe most of our sealed content in Australia is still not arriving.
I think next week. So April 30th is the date that we've been given.
Okay, so we're not boots on the ground with cards or anything at this point.
Isn't endorsing us. They're not giving us the access.
And we'll criticise on how we feel.
Yeah.
We're going to make a lot of enemies.
I like our corporate overlords.
I welcome and worship.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to... this is the thing we're not going to do, guys. Because we're crap players. And
we are.
Unprofessional. We're not going to pick the cards that are actually good. We're just going to pick the cards that we like.
That look cool.
We're going to pick the cards that we wish we knew how to play correctly.
The real shrimps on the Barbies.
That's what this week's shrimp on the Barbie is.
We don't call shrimps, guys. It's prawns. It's prawns.
It's prawns sometimes. So, okay. So we also wanted to talk about our variant of Commander as well. Okay, so let's touch on Strixhaven.
I'll cut it up.
I won't. This will just be unedited, unabridged, slapped straight onto YouTube. So I guess let's just do the overview of Strixhaven for now. Thoughts on the set as a whole, thematically, and power level, and all that kind of gear. Thoughts, I think it's a great set. I like the idea of it. I think it's this might sound a little rough. It's no Kamigawa. It's no Lorwyn. Yeah. It's an idea that's been done before in a sense.
Yeah.
But it was a fun set. I like them trying to reinvent the wheel a little bit with the colleges and everything like that.
The colleges, yeah.
I did like the whole theme of the spells and the mystical archive. I think they're all great.
Yeah.
Things to have. So yeah.
They're just fun. They're just fun stuff. I agree. I like the color change ups. It gave. I'm most familiar with the Prismario because that's the one I'll be playing, and they gave another way. Someone was saying, what's the point? Just play your Niv Mizzet deck, go for the draw, go for the ping. But this isn't. It's neither better or worse. It's just giving you another way to win, and it's a lot of fun. The spells, you're playing big spells. They got a lot of really fun spells. The X's are coming through.
Yeah, it was interesting watching you play because it felt to me almost like I was watching a Simic deck. But with Prismari colours.
Okay.
Because you're creating fractals or elementals out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Quite a large token army. You're pumping out drakes. You were flinging around a bit of damage, but nowhere near as much as what a typical Izzet would fling. It was more...
Whether or not that was just the product that was happening or the card.
Yeah, we have only done one game with the pre-con, so yeah.
It was a really fun pre-con. It's kind of like. It's probably what I would have wanted from the Calamex pre-con. That was a lot of fun as well. I ended up tinkering with that a lot, the copying spells. I really enjoyed the copying spells. I think the funnest part about this is the text, where it says you get the triggers for copying and casting. That's
that's huge.
Just gives you a little more flexibility.
Yeah, and it allows you to get them stacks.
Yeah.
Like stacked, which is nice as well. I've got to throw it out there, the power levels of the precons. We ended up playing like what? There was only 3 of us, and we were there for an hour and a bit, hour and 20. We still technically didn't fully wrap it up. We could have had another turn or two. But yeah, like the power level seems to be on point. The turns were pretty explosive as well in terms of like, it wasn't like we're just sitting there for an hour building states up and watching them go down. Like I was whacking Fabian down, he was bouncing back up, you were establishing a full board.
Yeah.
Everything would get reset a little bit, build it all up again. Like it was a lot of to and fro, which was quite nice to see as well. It wasn't boring gameplay.
Especially when you used the Orzhov when you were playing a Silver
Quill.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Announcing the members, putting the 1/1s, the kind of... I'm not going to attack you because I want to draw a card.
Yes, the politics on that was really nice, because there's definitely been politics in EDH before. It's a really fun mechanic to play around, so having a deck kind of devoted to that's been quite nice. So yeah, we've been enjoying everything so far. Spoiler season I didn't pay heaps of attention to, but it's definitely some cards I'm looking forward to getting basically. Have you thought about like a card of the set or anything like that in terms of like, have you got one picked out that you're really excited to chase down? Or
I think let me take a look at, I believe in terms of just raw value and what would be the most fun for me to play, I think I really enjoy the Cackle with Power.
Yeah.
Is it Crackle with Power?
Crackle with Power?
It's got 3 X's in it, guys. You're going to know what it is. Yeah, it's got 3 X's.
It's the big one.
It's the big one.
Yeah.
Like a big spell like that.
We're playing with Power.
A lot of damage. It's a heaps of fun. I think it'll be heaps of fun.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the one I've put in here. We'll talk about it later. But that Teach by Example. It's a ridiculous card. It's every other example of a twin cast, reverberate, everything like that. It's a rare slot. It's 2 pips of color. This one is a little bit more flexible. You get red or blue, and it's common. I don't understand how it's common, but it's common apparently. So I think that's a pretty unique and fun card. It can help out in a lot of different decks, especially in standard. It'll be big in standard. We don't talk a lot about standard, but
I've been playing. I'm dabbling in some standard now on Arena and stuff like that. I haven't seen a huge amount of Prismari, but like once it starts coming through, I'm seeing a lot of the Golgari, the Witherbloom colours. They're really shining through.
I've heard a lot of stuff about either the Silver Quill or the Lorehold. They seem to both be quite popular. So white seems to be a bit of a common denominator there, perhaps.
Also, we're not huge lore guys, but I think we were talking about the kind of lore inclusion with Professor Onyx, this mysterious Professor Onyx we know nothing about. No, but I really
thrown us for a loop.
I enjoy the Gideon mirror, where the little reference to War of the Spark and the kind of
the lore. This is the thing about the lore, is that it looks interesting and well written and exciting. And we just never have the time.
Yeah, never have the time. Really
it doesn't seem to be in our face enough, perhaps, that we're kind of being showered with it.
But just seeing her with the mirror and the Gideon and seeing that card again, because I had that card in my Jared the Monarch deck. So that was a cool little nod, because if you know the lore, you're like, oh man, she's like kind of questioning herself, which was pretty fun. That's a nice little fun inclusion.
We kind of read a little point here about lessons. They were banned instantly in Commander, which
mechanic was kind of banned.
Mechanic was kind of banned, which is understandable to a sense. But I've come up with an elegant solution.
I've heard of this elegant solution
to implement them in your game, guys. And my theory is that have lessons in your Commander games. If you want to run lessons, run them. But this is how it would work. Build your deck with the cards that would rely on them. Take all of the lessons, shuffle them into a pile, put them in the center of the board at the start of the game. And then as you play through the game, whenever a card comes up and you need to draw a lesson, you draw one from the top of the pile. It's completely random. You don't know what you're going to get. It could influence in a positive or negative way. And kind of thematically, you're learning a lesson. It might not be a lesson that's appropriate. It may be the exact lesson you need for that example. But that way, it can still be implemented, and I think in a way that doesn't break the game or exploit it in any way by being able to just pull whatever you want out from a sideboard.
I wonder if it was a point of balancing for the ban of the it feels like rough for a ban of mechanic. The not allowance of the mechanic or like this.
I feel like
pushing
you could
away.
just stack it with a particular lesson.
The none of the lessons are really that good though. They're kind of just like you got what what are you gonna really do with some of these lesson cards?
Listen, this is a game where I'm constantly unable to see how people can exploit things.
Yeah,
very
it's on a high power level. We don't really know. How things are
we are not smart enough to comprehend the inner workings of this game or remember more than 4 or 5 cards at a time.
Look at this. Our first segue, talking about how we don't understand levels of power. Maybe we should discuss our own power levels at the table.
Yeah, that's beautifully done.
Thank you. First of many.
Would you like me to lead?
You're the leading man.
Am I?
Dip me good.
I'm the brains.
Dip me.
So
hold me tight.
We've with any commander group, there's going to be a conversation that needs to be had about power levels, about what's happening with. Oh my god, this.
Fabian!
It's fucking Fabian, you're not welcome! We've talked about this!
You got me excited for a second there.
There's always going to be a conversation about how to implement power powers, what you want out of the game and everything like that. We've come up with an elegant solution, guys. Put all your debates to bed. We've got it, okay? We've looked abroad to other fields, to other sports, industries, the like. And we've come up with the solution that's going to blow your minds. It's the thing everybody loves to hate. Budget caps.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Soccer,
quick.
it's not very good at it. The rugby
league, there's constantly people cheating. It's going to be Brian refuses to submit his deck lists and prices for them.
I'll give you guys a tip. You just choose put your cards in the system that values them the lowest.
Pick white. All the white cards are so cheap. You can build a banger deck with white. It'll cost $80. So our recommendation here is super simple, guys. For ourselves, having budget in mind, not wanting to, personally, I cannot afford to be paying $500-600 a deck US to be playing the game. I'm a flip flopper. We've talked about this. I can't stick with one deck. I've got probably $1,200 to $1,300 worth of decks. But that's spread over 10.
How many decks do you have as well? How many decks do you kind of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, I think.
12
plus Silver Quill, 13.
Okay, yeah.
So
I'm running about 8 or 9. Oh, I'm running about 5 or 6 or 7 right now.
Yeah, we like to change it up.
Yeah,
it's
like
fun.
take cards out of old decks, put them in, you retire some.
Yeah, we play 3 to 4 games at night. Once a week.
Yeah.
And within that, I might not play one deck for 3 weeks. I pull it out, it's like brand new. It's a lot of fun. So what we've done is to kind of set a bar, essentially. We've implemented a budget cap of $230 US. What this allows is you can only build, essentially, when it comes to power, up to a certain level with that amount of money. You're not going to be able to have your dollar bill cards, like your Hull Breaches and your Tutors and all that kind of stuff. You can have one, possibly, and still fit other things in around.
Seen that happen, having like a kind of.
I ran a mana drain for quite a while. It was.
I don't think you've ever used it. Maybe once.
But that's the thing. That's why
someone else cannistered.
It's the story of my life, guys. Shut down at every corner.
You can kind of load the deck with like a larger bullet in the chamber.
Yes,
if you like.
Absolutely. Even if you were to spend $50 or $60 on the commander, get a Thrasios or something like that, build around the Thrasios.
Yeah, that's kind of more reasonable to kind of have your splurge out on the commander.
Yeah. What we've ultimately found after running this now for almost a year of Wednesday night games. Is that it leads to a game where essentially right up until the last round anybody could win. It's always kind of open. We're not a big fan of infinite combos ourselves. We kind of rely more on synergy than anything else.
We counted the turns. We last round turn 10. Either someone's winning, about to win, or it's like a turn. You're having a turn or two. Someone's closing out the game in around 10 to 11. Anywhere from probably 9 to 11 turns. Someone's. Someone's closing the game,
and we've had turn 6, turn 7 wins before as well. It's not unusual to have somebody just kind of get all the pieces they need to just crush the board quite quickly. We've found that ultimately it removes the debate of having to assess the power level. Everyone has different values and opinions on what their deck is rated at, whether or not that's higher or lower than what it should be, quote unquote. It basically just levels the field, and at that point it becomes all about finding old cards, janky cards a lot of the time that will replace the more expensive counterparts. Things may move a little slower than what a lot of people are used to. We obviously can't afford the tropical islands and all that kind of crap.
Instead of running Mana Dread, you might have to be forced to run like a Plasm Capture, which is effectively kind of the same thing, but with the green in it.
Or you could do Mana Leak, or the one that you end up countering unless they pay 3, which a lot of the time
there's a similar one.
There's always alternatives. There's 20,000 cards.
Yeah.
There's always an alternative.
You're forced to look outside and research, and you're not going to find the cards you need on like EDH.
EDH Rec,
You're not going to find.
You got to dig,
Dig
boys.
deep dive
dig
in the
down.
Reddits. Dig deep dive in. Have a look what's on eBay available, and you can get cards kind of cheaper.
Being in Australia, where the market is much smaller on second-hand cards, especially from older sets, it is quite problematic. We've handicapped ourselves significantly, but we've honestly, I think, I feel like everybody at the table would agree that it just sets the bar.
It has made things. We were running at the start. I was effectively, when we first started Wednesday, I was new to Commander.
Yeah, brand new.
I was completely new to Magic. I played some.
We threw him right into the deep end, guys.
Right into the deep end. I cracked open a Kalanax deck, jumped right in the table, and we were running. There was another person who was playing less, who was running a very, very expensive deck, and I didn't understand anything. So for me as a new person, it wasn't impressive. I would just be like, oh my wow, what does this card do? And after a while, it's like, this deck is brutal. Wow, how much is this cost?
It would essentially always end up in an arch-enemy scenario.
Yeah, so that's the problem with my pre-con level, whatever you would, whatever you can rate the Kalamax deck, the cracking, versus maybe effectively power rating 8.
Yeah,
even more sometimes.
Which would it's just hamstring the game. Which was
it still was fun.
This is the thing, is that if everyone can compete on that level and everyone's happy to compete at that level, it's great. It's obviously set the budget cap at 800 if that's what your table's capable at. This is the great thing, is that this is completely flexible.
Yeah.
You can ask everybody, what are you happy to spend on a deck? What are you willing to spend on a deck? Even it out. None of my decks, except for the Rabbit deck, come anywhere close to the 230.
Yeah,
and I'm still competitive. Most of mine are around 150, 130 US.
Yeah, I have a Yuriko deck that kind of skirts the line. I'll play Devil's Advocate here, because I agree with everything, but I'll play Devil's Advocate, and it's like, when you was talking about the budget cap, I probably didn't realize how effective it would be. So the first resistant questions you have are I can't I guess you want to say I want to have the ability to make my decks as strong as possible, to have them fully realized and be 100% complete without any drawbacks.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want. No one wants dead weight. Yeah. Ultimately, if they don't have to have it, and that's another factor where, if you have the budget, a budget cap is restraining to your own ability to play. It's more of a eliminating the social contract in a sense. And removing that kind of stickiness around trying to agree on what's going on. There is obviously impediments to the budget cap. If you do like running combos, there's a number of combos that can be achieved with less than $150 budget cap even.
Sometimes you'll be looking online, you'll be like, this combo, you're like, okay, let me look at this card, $30. And that's a huge blow to a $230 budget if all your cards cost even $1. You're looking at a $200. You're looking at a $200 deck with a $30 card in it. You're going to have to take out a significant amount of cards to make it work.
Yeah, there go all your fun lands, or there go anything.
You can't run your you'll be stressed for tutors, or you'll be playing for high mana tutors to kind of pull out those pieces that you need.
Absolutely.
But we're not a huge tutor group either, so that should give you an indication. We're not a huge tutor group.
We do. Both of us run Baragoff extensively at the moment. It's a crap tutor. But it does tutor.
It does
tutor. I've got a couple here and there.
We have nothing against tutors, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think, I wouldn't say we're anti them in a sense. I just think it's something that we don't do a lot of. I think the main reason ultimately is that unless you're playing black-white and you get access to Idyllic Tutor, Plea for Guidance, Demonic Tutor and stuff like that, they're cheap enough to run multiple copies of, but apart from that, the budget cap kind of hampers us to, having 5 or 6 tutors in a deck essentially, which once again, kind of, if you're going for that theme where you want to set up particular pieces and everything like that, you are going to be hamstrung if that's your play style to try and get them pieces when you want them. Okay. You're at the mercy of luck at that point, because you're going to have to just kind of draw through until you hit the ones. But I guess that's the thing. It just shifts the meta a little bit in terms of what your win cons are going to be.
Yeah. So, speaking from someone who's like done with the budget now, since it's been nothing but I think good. It's only helped the group.
I think so as well. I think everyone's
only been more
happy.
fun. It's kind of, you get a lot of discussions in our kind of Discord. It's like, I want this card, but I'm going to take out a few cards for it. And that's always fun.
You're going to have to pay for it. Yeah, it's nice to like expensive cards are expensive for a reason. It's because they're good. The mana drain costs 2, which is cheaper than the bulk standard counter. Not only does it cost 2, it then gives you benefits on the next turn. It's clearly worth what it's worth. There's nobody here's denying that at all. But that then shifts when you can't afford that card all of a sudden, and you don't have the room for it in your deck. You then may either need to get 2 cards to do the same thing, or take a hit somewhere else. Yeah.
So if you're interested in watching a game where we're pulling out kind of different types of cards that you maybe might not see on other type of games.
Yes, we're playing a lot of ridiculous cards that nobody. Once again, the great thing is nobody cares about these cards.
They're very cheap.
They're often like 40 cents or.
So like if you run a weird commander or you're running weird interactions, you can find a really weird card that's just going to be perfect.
Yeah, it can be a keystone of decks.
Yeah. And in saying that, we both really enjoy watching like high level play. We enjoy watching CDH games. It's just like it's like watching high level, union or soccer. It's like I love to watch it. Yeah. Like, I'm never going to compete at that level. I just like to watch it. But if you want to see some boys in the mud kicking the ball around,
if you want to see a lot of mistakes, very poor quality Magic, we're the guys. Absolutely, trust us. There's been a lot of constructive feedback already.
The Reddit is killing us, guys,
and we love it. We love it. I think the great thing about watching the higher level guys is they pull out these unique cards that don't work in any other deck, and then it gives you great ideas.
Absolutely,
you kind of utilize that for yourself.
There's nothing better than seeing kind of a weird card you haven't seen doing something awesome, looking it up, and it's only $1, and it's like, yes, exactly. Come into my deck.
And that's at this point. With where I'm at with everything, watching the command zone, they get the new Strixhaven commanders. They build decks and they're pulling out the same crap with a lot of it. A lot of the same staples and everything like that they pull out every time. And it's like, guys, it's a brand new set. Just fill up with fun stuff that you haven't seen before. It kind of sucks coming back, and it almost feels like you're watching the same kind of game again when they're kind of pulling the same tricks. And it's not knocking them and what they do at all. Obviously, good cards are good cards for a reason, but there's nothing better than when you pull out a card and 3 people are like, "What's that?" And all of a sudden, everyone's looking over trying to read what the card is.
To see like janky card cards.
Yeah, especially with the cornered market.
I like Commando, by the way, Nick. Nick's Nick. Put all the hate towards other Nick.
If you're a Command Zone hater like me,
I only hate the largest Magic show in the world. No,
it's not jealousy at all, guys.
It's not jealousy.
Just quickly on that, Cornered Market, it's a ridiculous card. It's a complete jank card. It says that you can't play a card that's already in play. And when you're playing a 4-player game, if you get that out on turn 2 or 3, boom. If anyone's got a Soul Ring, no one else is playing a Soul Ring. If anyone has, it's non-basic lands, I think. So it's like if you got even like the Myriad Landscape, if one's out on the board, no one else is getting to it. Yeah. It's a ridiculous card, but in the right deck, all of a sudden, in a political deck, all of a sudden that card's a lot of fun. So yeah, and once again, it's $1. It's a $1 card.
Yeah,
$1 Australian. It's probably 30 cents in the end.
we pay $1 for all your cards. All your 20-cent cards cost us $1.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about shipping.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Shipping costs a lot.
Listen, when I shop on Card Kingdom,
what are you guys doing over there?
Which I do every once in a while. I think, oh great, this deck's only going to cost me $85 US, and then I add shipping on, and boom, I'm paying through my ass. I got to remortgage the house.
There was a hilarious
I got to sell 3 of my kids.
There was a hilarious story with Brian Z. clearing the funds for $200.
Explain this with his wife. He'd put in a lot of work to access this money. He'd
clearing the $200, making the purchase, and nothing better than seeing $300 Australian come up.
hadn't factored in the exchange rate.
I may have accidentally spent $300 Australian.
Yeah, it was only $230. Yeah, $230. Why does it say $350? Uzbekistani notes.
Uzbekistan.
All right, so let's. We've talked a little bit about what makes settling scores unique. We've talked about our crazy ideas. Let's talk about more crazy ideas in terms of crazy cards that nobody else cares about. We're gonna touch on a brand new segment, Nick. We're moving on. We're forging forward.
Brand new segment tune. It's in post. It's in post.
That's it, guys. That's the brand new one. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to touch on underrated cards. When I can get my tablet to scroll, guys, it's a very sensitive.
Underrated.
Undervalued. And under $1.
Underrated, undervalued, and under $1.
The 3 U's of success.
Yeah.
We've got a few that we've selected. I think I kind of went a little ham on the selections here. Nick didn't get much of a look in, but that's all right. He's just going to have to. He's just going to have to agree with me. It is a great card. Oh, thank you. So for our undervalued or underrated card. Oh, here we go. Underrated card, guys. We've got Teach by Example. I think maybe Mitch from Commander's Quarters might have touched on it, but 2 red or blue hybrid, either or, for basically copying a spell.
It's great. If you're running Prismari, it doesn't matter.
And nothing's standard if you're running blue or red, whatever you're doing. Listen, if you're running blue-red, copying's part of the game, I think, at that point. It doesn't make sense not to copy spells. Yeah. And copying for 2...
And you're going to get those triggers. You're going to get the triggers from the names. You know, when you copy, you're going to get the triggers, which is really nice.
Magecraft or...
Magecraft, yes. Some of the Magecrafts, depends what other colours you're running, but you're going to get the triggers, which is nice.
So, and then, like, the other thing is like, we touched on this before, but, like, Twin Cast, I'm pretty sure is a $10 Australian card.
Let's look it up.
I'm pretty sure that Reverberate or Redirect, they're both quite expensive.
Yeah,
Redirect
Fork is a really expensive one. That's a mono red one.
Yeah. So this card is doing what them cards are doing, essentially in the same kind of color. It's a little bit more flexible with the colors. If you've got one blue, one red, you can still cast
over $10 for it.
Yeah, I mean it's a great card.
And it's common, so you're gonna get one.
You're gonna get heaps. You're gonna be sick of them. Put them in all your decks.
And you got Owl People. What's better than Owl People?
They're throwing fire, dude. Everyone loves the fire caster.
Yeah, you got some birds. We're looking at the art now.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen.
Cover it right over the top of us.
Yeah. Get it going. Follow my hand.
I'll do that in post, one frame at a time.
That'll
take 18 hours.
We're gonna every card we talk about, we're gonna put on the Twitter. So
yes.
Join the Twitter at Settling Score.
We'll do the Twitter, and we'll put this on YouTube, and we'll have it up on the screen on YouTube as well.
Sponsored by Chuckers, whatever you're working
Espresso Martinis.
Espresso Martinis.
Yeah. We're open for free goods.
Yeah, so if you work for some guy, just be like, hey, can we sponsor the other guy?
Yeah, we're not paying for postage. You do that.
We'll say whatever you want. Literally whatever you want.
We'll support genocide if we have to.
Oh my god. Any cause we'll support.
Is Coney still in there?
Oh my... Yeah. More on that later.
Yeah. Undervalued. So for undervalued we had Archmage Eritreus Emeritus. Listen, we speak Australian. This is written in English.
Emeritus.
We don't exactly know how pronunciation
doesn't come into our tongue very well.
Yeah. So 4-drop for a 2/2, pretty much standard wizard costing for power. And then we have the Magecraft of whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. So in blue, mono blue, you're fitting into Simic, Prismari, whatever. You are gonna be casting instants or sorceries every turn. This guy's allowing you to draw one. The reason I put this card in here is because I play with Archivist, which is a 4 for a 1/1, and you can tap to draw a card. Yeah. There's a lot of cards like that are a little bit older now. I know the power's kind of slowly creeping up. That's a debate for another time.
Text.
We do have flavor text. I haven't even read the flavor text, but essentially these kinds of cards that are giving you card draw are always costing 4. It's a 2/2 body. It's a wizard, whether or not the tribe matters or not.
Yeah.
But just like literally, it's blue. You're going to be casting at least 1 or 2 instances of sorceries almost every turn. Getting card draw off, that's just refilling the hand, guys. Every time you're playing one, it's filling it back up again.
I got my ear to the ground here, coming in local live from the Reddits. There was a little bit of hubbub.
Really?
Whether this card would be CEDH material.
Oh wow, okay. I picked this all by myself with no prior knowledge.
You're a big boy.
I think I'm starting to learn how this game works.
You're a big magic boy. The only downside is that this is a 4 cost. So it's a bit.
Yes.
It's a
little more on the pricey side.
Yeah, for a little bit.
But once again, I just said this before, but like my counter to that is that Archivist is a 4-drop.
Yeah.
Arcanist the Omnipotent, I think is 6 or 7. It taps for 3.
Right in the comments. Don't shout.
Go easy, guys. Go easy. We're drinking, and once again, all our cards are upside down. So it's very hard to keep
these drinks in the ground, not from
in the
spilling
glass.
out.
See how much lip we've got? It's essential. Leather lip is essential. So I think for value wise, I know the 4. Like obviously, a CDH player wants this for 2.
Yeah,
he only wants
the
to
2
pay
would
2.
just make it.
But
an amazing card.
Dude, run green in your deck.
Run green.
Cultivate, rampant growth, Farseed. There's no reason not to run green. Okay, put green in your decks.
Such divisive.
And throw them on the soapbox. Free Lutri. It's all we're here for. We want the otter out of the band.
Why is it banned?
Why is it banned? Don't write to me and say, "Oh, you can flush it in and copy a spell." Yeah, so can Jewelcaster.
Yeah. We were writing
without the command.
The council. What the hell, council?
Yeah. Listen, I'll take this issue with me to the grave.
We're building up
By
a
to
community.
the grave, I mean until at least next week.
We're going to keep this
Free
going.
Hashtag. I'm going to stream. It's battering across the screen. Okay.
We'll keep it going for a while. We're going to get Lutri free.
We want Lutri out. I want to use Lutri. Not that our table really cares too much, but he's an otter.
I wouldn't put him in my deck.
I think it's
free
just
Lutri.
that you know what it is?
Is he legendary?
Yeah.
He is your commander, yeah.
It's a companion thing, right? I think that's another issue.
They got rid of it. They changed that anyway.
Listen, guys. It's clearly a thing of they're worried that Lutri is way too cool for the format as a whole.
Yeah.
Others are awesome. Everybody can acknowledge that. They're the best sea-dwelling mammal.
What do we have? We have the platypuses here in Australia. We need some more platypus cards.
Australia is underrepresented as far as Magic goes. There's didgeridoo.
Yeah.
There's a bit of art that depicts, I believe, a kangaroo.
Okay.
A plains or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had one. And there's one that looks very much like there may be an Ezrock or Uluru in the background.
Yes, I've seen that. I think
we are. Where's our? Japan got Kamigawa.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Hogwarts, Strixhaven. Where's Australia getting the look?
In what world
We've
is
got rich
Hogwarts getting
lore.
more than us?
We're a whole continent.
So
Are you kidding me right now?
I believe in this. When they found the platypus, they thought it was a joke.
Yes.
They were like,
They sent it to England, and the guys in England, the botanists in England, were like trying to pull it apart to find where the glue was.
Yeah, where's the stitches? Who's stitching this up?
Yeah,
because they're all
really
pieces.
really put a speed bump in the whole garden.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm cutting that out. You will cut that out.
It'll be on the YouTube. Okay, guys, let's move on quickly.
Under $1 card. I'm going to double check real quick if these cards are even under $1 anymore.
Golden Ratio definitely is. It's a trash uncommon that nobody wants.
I like it.
It's a great card. Okay, guys. Golden Ratio. My favorite color is Simic. Draw a card for each different power among creatures you control. This card is just... You're playing Simic. You're going to have 1/1s. You're going to have 2/2s. You're going to have 3/3s. You're going to have in my case with the Wizards, you end up with a bunch of tokens of other people's cards. They're all different shapes and sizes. So for 3, I cannot see an example of where I'm not drawing 3 or 4 cards at least for a 3. And as far as your divination and all them kinds of spells are concerned, that's great value.
Yeah.
It's 1 green and a blue, so 3 converted mana cost. It's not that high, especially when you've got green.
And
running
flavor
green.
text. Definitely flavor
The
text.
flavor text. We're big on thematics, right?
We do.
Guys.
We do.
We really do enjoy.
And the golden ratio, which is like it's a mathematical term.
It's not technically Fibonacci sequence, right?
No, it's like when you intersect a line into a segment.
It's very nature based. It's a Simics. It's all there.
My pick was Go Blank. I'll double check now if it's under $1.
The art is incredible.
It's
very kind of monotone, but like it looks great.
It says a lot. Like it's someone cramming for an exam and they've gone blank, which is always.
And this is the mind rot, right? The new mind rot.
Yeah.
In terms of like it's doing the same kind of thing, making an opponent discard 2 cards, then the bonus of exiling an entire graveyard, which is in Commander with Muldrova.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like having another scavenger guard.
Yeah.
So I like it for Commander. I like the discarding too, and for Standard, it's really fun. I played around and then draft, and then like you can just slow down your opponents.
Yeah.
You chuck a few of those, and it's hilarious.
Even like your landfall decks and stuff like that. Once you exile that deck and you get rid of all the effects.
Brian's just running an Omnath deck. I'm gonna chuck Go Blank and get rid of his lands.
Absolutely, that's a good call. Another great under $1 card.
Yeah, we can talk about that as well. Future episode, picking cards to target your own teammates.
Yeah.
Faux what do you guys think? Hit us up.
Listen, every table develops their own meta.
Yeah, but
if you want to exist in that meta, you really need to focus on the strengths and weaknesses of the table.
So like
I'm a big fan of not
counter picking.
No, listen, I put Gloom in that deck to fuck you and Fabian. Just stay to 7, pieces of shit.
No. We're moving on to.
Just got to skip right past my hate.
Well,
Diamond Hands.
Diamond Hands.
Diamond Hands, guys. This is listen. We love the Wall Street's Bet subreddit, even though there's been a little bit of controversy, etc., etc. We love
investors.
We're too stupid and poor.
We live in Australia.
We don't understand. We can't understand the stock exchange over here.
That's not up north.
Alright, we'll just crowbar that in as much as we can. I'm cool with that. Horizon Stone, guys. It's a 5-drop, and you might be thinking, 5. Fuck, are these guys even playing?
Win the game with 5.
And it says whenever you would lose unspent mana, it becomes colorless instead. And so Wilderness Reclamation, cards that are allowing you to untap multiple times. If you there's not a turn that goes past typically where I don't have just one land sitting there being used. Tap it, suck that mana up, use it on your next turn. Especially if you've got the right color combinations. It can really, we've discussed using this with an X-Spell deck in Teemo, which is the red, green, blue.
With my, speaking in terms of deck, I'm going to have this card in, would be the Prismari one, because I need to build up as much mana to get those X-Spells up. So it's like, I can just store and store and store, and then just blow it.
Punch it out. Obviously, it's going to be possibly subject to removal.
Yeah.
You could argue a little bit of politics here. If it's storing 3 mana in it,
and they're not going to know what you're going to play either. So you can kind of telegraph. You can try to slide away with it.
That's right. It could be. You could kind of sneak it on the radar.
But it's a card that I haven't really seen a lot happening.
No,
it's definitely not for the CDH because you're turning so fast and you're using all your mana. You're not going to use your mana.
It's more of a casual card.
Yeah, but I think it's casual.
We've been looking at the MTG Goldfish numbers and stuff like that on Magic the Gathering online. It's kind of been trending upwards in terms of price. It's still less than $1, I think, in the US for it at the moment.
Pick them up.
Grab a couple. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst,
you'll
never use it, and it looks awesome. It's the infinite sign. It's the infinity sign, guys. I mean, come on.
Who doesn't want an infinity sign tattooed on them? Also saying infinity, so everyone knows. You know what infinity is.
If you have to explain what the infinity symbol is to somebody, stop being friends with them.
And Nick, I want to get infinity symbol tattooed on me, but I'm just worried how long it's going to take.
Great question. Question for next time, guys. We don't have all night.
We might do a go live, and we'll do a little go live segment. And we'll get some infinity tattoos, and just.
Oh my God.
How long will this take, though? Like, how much money is this going to cost to tattoo infinity on me?
How big are we doing it?
Yeah.
What's the position?
I feel like we should get like a
knob to belly button. Under the shaft, right up and around the top of the belly button.
We might have to do a home job.
I'll do you do me.
At the same time.
Okay. Next segment, guys. Collectible art. These are cards from older sets that have awesome art. That, let's face it...
I didn't read the text for when I chose this card, so I'm never going to read the text.
It's purely art-based. So these are cards that are not reserved lists. They're likely to be reprinted, but this is a kicker. They're never going to be reprinted with the art, whether it's an old style, whether it's an artist they don't work with anymore, whether it's just, a sign of its times in a sense. This week we've picked Blood Oath, which Nick was very excited to see had the Predator-style handshake between two man-bun, beard-sporting jocks.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Carl
Weathers.
Carl Weathers, that's
Dylan,
perfect.
You son of a bitch. Boom!
It's
Look
a great
at him,
looking
guys.
card.
We'll put it on here.
Yeah, it'll be up the top there. You can admire the art with us. It looks great. Would you use the card?
Let me read it now. It's a 4-drop, 3 in a row. Choose a card, target of photo reveals his or her hand, blood to reveals. No.
Moving on to the next card. Okay, we've got a segment called The Good, The Bad and The Ugly.
Let me see what set that card's from, because it's bugging me.
I can. It's from
Macadian
Masks.
Macadian Masks.
We got another Macadian Mask. We've got another segment, guys, called The Good, The Bad and The Ugly.
And remember, the segment music is playing.
Let's give it 6 seconds of silence. And we're back. So for the good card this week, we've picked, we touched on it before, Cornered Market. It's a fun card. It can slow your opponents down quite a bit. Under $1. We will flash it up on the screen. You can read it for yourselves. We did touch on it before. It's simple. It's kind of fun. It can just fuck your opponents just out of nowhere, which is always good to see. And especially if your table runs very consistent standard cards.
Yeah.
Very consistent kind of, must-haves. The Soul Rings, the Arcane Signets, everything like that. The art's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this
very old school.
Don't step on the livelihood of other vendors, or they may step on you, which is always
true. Yeah. Respect retail staff, guys. So our message.
Especially vendors, I was listening to a show where they went overseas, and it's like the crew was afraid of getting poisoning sickness, food poisoning.
Yeah.
So they would only eat at the hotel, and the guy was like, "You guys are idiots. Don't eat at the hotel because they have the buffets.
Yeah.
Eat out on the streets because they want you coming back every day. So the food's good."
Yeah, and what kind of weak ass bellies do they have?
No, like, this is in India.
I don't care. We need that every day.
Right,
the spice kills the bacteria, bro. That's clear science right there.
You can't get food poisoning from bacteria.
The bad. This is this card here. I have an affinity of hatred for.
We got Rod of Ruin. Artifact for
4.
3 and tap. Rod of Ruin deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So
once a turn, you can pay 3, waste the artifact, and do 1 damage.
So it's going to cost you 7 to ping 1.
7 to ping 1 on the first one.
Now, can we copy this ability?
Returns.
What are we looking at?
Well, you could untap it and do it again for another 3.
Okay.
I think as far as cards go, for an uncommon, this is just a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah, you've got that other goblin who, the goblin sniper.
Yeah.
Who just
infinitely better.
Infinitely better.
And the other thing is, like, what deck are you putting this into where you want to just... I know that there's ping decks. Don't at me. I know that there's certain decks, but, like, there's got to be better alternatives than this card. I don't know if there are. I haven't done any research.
We've done
but
very little
research. I'm positive that there is.
Mick, but can I interest you with a little bit of flavour text?
Yeah, sure.
The good news is it's so simple, a goblin could use it. The bad news is it's so simple, a goblin could use it.
Great flavour text. I'm going to just listen. Saving Grace.
Saving Grace.
That's great flavour text. I really enjoy that. Okay, and our ugly card of the week. This is, I love this card because it just looks horrendous.
It does look pretty awesome.
Crane Toy?
Crane Toy?
Chiron Toy?
Chiron Toy.
Recently, just a quick market note, the foil for this card is over $100 US right now. The unfoil version, less than $1.
Yeah, pick them up.
Make of that what you will.
And that's because of the foil increased prices.
Yes, for the old sets. But I love it. It looks awesome. It's definitely ugly as shit, but I bought copies because I think it's really
It's
cool.
a nice ugly, though. It's going to be
it's a fun ugly. Yeah. It's kind of like your cousin's baby.
I'm related, so...
I kind of have to love it. Like,
are just
by
ugly.
oath of blood.
Babies
but
are just ugly.
yeah, I don't want it around, and I definitely don't want to walk in on it because it'll scare the shit out of me. Nick, you did pick a card.
Don't worry about that. We can talk about that another time. Just randomly there.
Okay, and so we've got we kind of jumped the gun. Our budget commander system, the budget cap. We've come up with an innovative name for it to kind of represent us and our heritage, being Australians. Emu Dingo Underlander. Very nice play on words, if you will, of Elder Dragon Highlander.
Oh, is that what it... Oh,
yes, that's why it's there, Nick. Yes, I've got you. So if you want to implement a budget cap into your game, just remember that you'll no longer be playing Elder Dragon Highlander or Commander. You will be playing Emu Dingo Underlander.
What a divisive thing to say.
It is what it is, buddy. What are you going to do?
Yeah, we own the format, I guess. It's ours.
Yeah. Don't come to us for rules advice.
We don't know them.
The only thing that's banned is Secret Lair. Walking Dead.
Yeah, we would just agree that was kind of lame. And no one would. I liked the first couple of seasons.
Don't make cards exclusive. Alright, let's not
get political.
Let's not get political.
You're just making me upset.
Alright, see you next week.
I'm just getting upset.
So yeah, we kind of touched on all that kind of stuff, and I think that's about all we had for tonight, right?
Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys.
We hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna smash some more drinks down. We're a little bit behind. We're try and crush out another episode.
Yeah.
And then
don't say that.
We're not doing any other episodes.
Yeah, we're going to bed.
You'll see you next week.
So thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Every Wednesday night, live on Twitch, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
We will attempt to do these on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Time is indeterminate.
We'll put it up on Twitter. We'll put like a 24-hour warning on Twitter.
Will we?
We'll try. I'll try.
We won't.
Follow us on Twitter @SettlingScore for upcoming news about episodes. We're going to put all the art that we featured. Send us questions. Send us full decks. Send us the rules that you guys have. We'll talk about it.
Yes,
we might even implement them for a week.
We're very open to trying new things and fun things.
Yeah.
If you've got little
and out of bed
with each other, we got an OnlyFans. so listen. Honestly though, like little ideas, like the lessons idea and stuff like that. If you've got little fun things like that make your game fun or unique, we'll touch on next episode. We'll touch on our season format and how we set up our games and everything like that.
Send us drinks.
Drinks idea. Nothing with brown liquor. I will throw.
But you can send brown liquor. I'll make him drink it.
Nick will drink it.
If you have a drinking game for Commander as well, that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
Listen,
every time a creature dies, take a shot.
At this time of night, I can barely do that. Okay, if I'm drinking as well, I almost fucked up an entire season's of scoring because I was too drunk. I almost threw away my lead because I was too drunk.
Yeah, don't involve cheese, guys. I'll die.
Listen, fun cocktail drinks. Oh no, our stream's been disconnected. Fun cocktail drinks. We're open for ideas. We're open for lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Add us with stuff. We're more than happy to run over your ideas and your suggestions.
6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern. Live on Twitch. Settling Scores. @Settling Score on Twitter.
We know the audio shit.
It's gonna get. We're only up from here, guys.
Yeah, we have started the ground floor.
You're in on the ground level.
We're below ground. We're sub ground.
Yeah.
But we will get there.
We will get there. Thanks for watching.
With your support. Sign up to the Patreon.
Oh my god.
Don't. Think about it.
Watching is enough.
Think about it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next episode.
See you next week.
There's going to be a whole bunch of episodes out.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Eventually.
See, it's hard down under.